Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Facebook family. Hello, YouTube family. And hello to the replayers. Too bad you're not going to be here, but you know Bella loves you anyway. Thanks for seeing the replay. Well, let's get right into it. Happy Women's History Month. Can I say that, y'all? It's
Yes.
March 25th. Can you believe it? We're almost to the end of a month and doing the still pandemic in 2021. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you. I count it all on joy that I know you could be anywhere at any time, but you chose to follow Bella. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for coming. Boy, do I have a treat for you ladies and gentlemen too. So without further ado, I'm going to start somebody out and I'm going to talk about her after her powerful experience. So right now, I'm getting ready to bring on Max. Come on in the room, Max.
Well, hello. Um, we're here celebrating Women's Month, and I want to celebrate the women of yesterday and the women of today, the women that did not give up, and the women that knew how to pray. And I call this altar call. As you enter the place of worship, you make sure all eyes are on you as you strut your stuff to your favorite pew. The pastor speaks about the virtuous woman. The sermon seems to give you some tension. The spirit of conviction comes over you. The presence of the Holy Spirit surrounds you, and your sin-sick soul cries out with every step you take towards the altar. While at the altar, you are freed from the hate embedded in your heart and the thoughts that kept you lost. He freed you from envy, hostility, and sin-stained sheets to become the virtuous woman you were meant to be. This is an altar call for the mothers, the daughters, the sisters. Fall to your knees and set your burdens free. As you are down on your knees, you are revived and purified by his love, cleansed and redeemed by his blood. Now go and be like Ruth. Demonstrate loyalty through and through, even if the bloodline is not of you. Be like Deborah and pour out your heart unto the Lord. He will shower blessings upon you like a waterfall. Be like Harriet, not afraid to extend a lifeline to another fellow man with a freedom plan. Be like Betty, advocate against systemic racism by any means necessary against your adversary. Be like Rosa and don't give up your seat. Instead, take a stance with demands from the NAACP. Be like Coretta and march to the mountaintop to fulfill dreams, to instill generational means. Be like Stacy, fight against voter suppression and turn a state from red to blue to hear silent voices make choices. Be like Michelle as she stood by her man saying, yes, we can, and became the first Black woman to be the first lady of this land. Be like Kamala, the first woman and the first Black to hold the office of vice president, a graduate of a HBCU, ruling in a White House built by slaves. And now those slaves are rejoicing in their graves. Now take note of the queens that came before you. Now create your legacy and become the virtuous woman you were meant to be, wearing pearls for the entire world to behold, purpose, souls. This is an altar call for the mothers, the daughters, the sisters. Fall to your knees and set your burdens free. I said, fall to your knees and rise to your destiny. I said, rise to your destiny. Rise to your destiny. Thank you.
Wow. Now y'all know how Bella rolls. Max, stay on that frame. I am telling you, that's my girl. I've been listening to Max for over 10 years, and she just gets better and better like fine wine. Listen, I'm getting ready to do some shine. This is Max's new book. It's called Testimonies, God's Unfolding Miracles. Y'all have got to purchase this book. It talks about her testimonies of all the different people, a small fraction of the people in her lives. You follow Max, you too may get in her book because she ain't done. Max, thank you so much for that powerful, riveting poet about women, because we are celebrating Women's History Month. So we're going to get right into it. All right, y'all. Bella got some things she done found and retuned. So here we go. Y'all better get ready. Y'all ready? All right. Here we go for our first queen. And by the way, audience, these queens are all from Tennessee. Okay? We have Donita Smith. Donita Smith has been in the business of helping individuals since 2010, when she co-founded a production company dedicated to providing a platform for artists of all types and genres to be seen and heard. You're going to learn a lot more about her. I'm just going to give a little bit of the tea. They're going to tell you about themselves. Our second queen from Tennessee is Michelle Gibson. Some of you might have remembered her from before. That's my girl out of Tennessee. Michelle Gibson is a highly sought after international speaker and personal development success coach. She's been featured speaker all over. Just hang on. The pot's going to get thicker. But we're going to do a drum roll on this first time right up in here. It's my girl, my queen. I call her Sheila E. I call her queen. I call her Sard. She got a lot of names, but right now tonight, she is Sheila Wallace. She's a force to be reckoned with. Sheila's unapologetic. She leads the charge for self-awareness by choosing to love others and to forgive. Her mission is you can choose to live a fulfilling life by owning your truth. Get ready, ladies. Get ready, gents. Put your seatbelt on because Bella ain't playing. We're going to get right into it. So, ladies, welcome to the Bella Beans Unplugged. We're going to start with Donita first. We're going to start out slow, y'all. Y'all know how we do it. Then we're going to go quick. So, Donita, say hello to the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and keep it moving, Queen of Tennessee.
Hello, ladies. My name is Donita Smith. I'm a virtual executive assistant. With everything going on with COVID, I decided that I wanted to help women get their businesses up and going in a way and be able to move around as a single mother and be there where I'm needed. So I decided to take my business virtual, and I've been doing it ever since. I first came up with the idea 2018, where I was like, I am a single mother and I would love to have a place where I could help women have a job and work from home. So I was doing all my research and figuring out how I could do this and how I could reach out to different women. And lo and behold, I had somebody reach out to me and said, you know what, you are an administrative assistant. I need your help. I need you to get me on point because God has things in me and I need to get them going. And so I was like, God, this is it. This is what you wanted me to do. So let me get to doing it. So I started working with this one client. And since I've been working with her, she has just soared me to the next levels where I've been able to help other women. And then when COVID hit, I was able to actually hire people as virtual assistants underneath me as an executive assistant. So I've been able to actually push the economy as people have been having a struggle. And I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing people rise to the occasion and being a part of that. It gives me joy to see people shine where God put them.
So, Donita, you are very special to me, Bella, because I'm getting ready to put some myths out there and dispel them. I was an admin a long time ago, still an admin. But, people tend to take administrative assistants, executive assistants, EAs, whatever name you want to call it, for granted, right? And not knowing that we truly are the backbone, come on, Donita, the backbone of companies. So tell me, because I know I love people like you do, what was the one defining moment when you knew I'm going to do this, but more importantly, why do you like doing what you do?
When I just 1 week, people from all different walks of life were calling me and were like, Donita, I need your help with figuring out, I need help with the business plans. I need help with, I have an event and I don't really know how to put it together. I have a conference I'm trying to do. Family members were calling me. My little sister, she was like, I'm trying to get scholarships. What do I do? And I realized I'm an administrator. At church, they were telling me, Donita, we need your help. I was like, I'm not part of that, but okay. I was like, this is okay. This is my role. I am an administrator. This is what I do. And back when I had my production company, I loved seeing people shine, just seeing that gift in them. And a lot of people don't really know how to be pushed to the forefront. I have no problem being the power behind the throne. It does not bother me because I know my position. I do
So
it well.
stop right there, Danita, because this is the Bella Biz Show. I am telling you, because you're going to get some shine, girlfriend. That's right, Paula G. Voice. Paula G. Voice says executive assistants are truly the backbone of the organization. You better know it, Paula. Keep on going, Danita. Show them what you're working with, girl.
So like I was saying, I have no problem being that backbone and pushing. And a lot of people, they know they have something in them. They just don't know what to do with it or how to present it. And God's just giving me the gift that when you tell me something, it just clicks. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, this is step A, B, and C, and D. And this is the little mini steps, and let's get it going. I'm able to just break those things down and present them in a way that makes sense. To a point where I'm even helping children who want, like young teenagers who like, I kind of want a business. I just don't know what to do. And I've been able to help them, my daughter's friends, even get their little businesses off the ground, their little sole proprietors, figuring out how to write a business plan. And I love it. I just love people, and I love seeing people live in their purpose. I just love it.
I love your spirit. And if I think it was Denise Winston, did I see Denise Michelle Tuck Winston make another acknowledgement to you, Donita, because she needs to put that back up on the screen. Yeah, executive administrators are the chief of staff. You got that right, baby. I'm in your corner 2,000%, Donita, because we are taken for granted. And this is your time to shine. So tell me, Donita, in a perfect world, post-pandemic, what do you want to be doing?
Oh, I want to continue what I'm doing because I love helping people. I would love to be on the scene speaking to women because I find a lot of people are afraid to step out there and to be seen. They know they're supposed to be seen. They just are afraid to do that. And I have a gift of being able to empower people. I would love to speak to women, young girls. I'm really good when it comes to teenagers, that young adult, 17 to 20, where they're trying to figure out what to do, how to do it. And just, you have everything in you already. It's just a matter of pulling it out. You don't have to be loud, that boisterous person. A lot of people are silent and powerful, but you're still powerful. And I just want to be able to let women and girls know that's in them. And even young men, I have quite a few who I've actually helped as well, that regardless of what's going on, you have a gift. It needs to be heard. Let's hear it.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to clone that because you said women are, well, you didn't say women, people are powerful and quiet, and you're absolutely right. I appreciate Donita. I am telling you, it's just getting better and better. Hey, I want y'all to know, B-Mo is not only in the house, Tennessee done ruled me out, y'all. Tennessee is in the house. Donita, thank you so much. You're going to hang back. You ain't going nowhere. I think Denise made a comment. Keep building. It's needed. The younger generation really needs guidance. And you know what, Donita, my hat's off to you. Anything I can do publicly on this platform to support you, because we are one. I'm there. All right. So just hang back for a second. We're going to bring you back, Queen. I'm loving it. Next up, I'm going to let her do what she do and talk about herself because she does that very well. Come on in the house, Michelle Gibson. What's going on? Talk to these people.
Good evening, Linda. Good evening to everyone who has come out. I am Michelle Gibson, the founder of the Unstoppable Connection, and I'm a purpose pusher. I realize that God has created me to help women discover and rediscover and scale their purpose. I help people to connect to their purpose, people to connect to people, and people to connect to profit. And so I've created this momentous movement of women to help us realize that we all are unstoppable. We are created to be unstoppable. And there are days when we wake up on Monday, we feel like we've got it together. Everything is shining. Things are going just great. We know we're on the top of the world. And then Tuesday, Wednesday hits and life hits. And sometimes we forget. And so what I have done through the grace of God is figured out strategies on how to help women to actually get from being stuck to unstoppable and staying there, realizing that nothing has really changed with you except for your circumstance. And so once we realize how to get out of the circumstance, then we all get there. I truly believe that as women, our superpower is connection and our kryptonite is competition. And so if we connect together to shine each other's crowns, every jewel in your crown will be as bright as mine, even though we stand on different stages. So I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing. And I love every single woman who is on this panel because she too is truly a queen who is shining brightly. So thank you, Linda, for having me.
Whoa, I'm telling y'all, put the seatbelt on, make sure it's tight. Y'all gonna get a daggone citation or a parking ticket, because if the seatbelt ain't on, you're gonna fall out your seat, all right? Michelle, this is wonderful. Paula is a file of mine, I love it. Paula saying, yeah, great platform. Embrace your journey, ladies. Looking forward to future conversations. You got that right, Paula, because you know what? We are a force to be reckoned with. So, Michelle, I'm going to bring somebody else on, but what is this unstoppable thing that you're talking about? I keep hearing unstoppable. What is that?
It is birthed out of women. I'm a coach, so I do success coaching, business coaching, life coaching, and I speak all over the world as a motivational speaker. And there were women who kept coming to me, and it started out as I was doing business coaching to help people launch what they wanted to do. And then I started getting clients who were like, you know what, I can't even talk about what I really want to do because I feel stuck. And so as I began to give these strategies of how to get unstuck, then God said, stop. Write the book. And so I put those strategies in a book called Get Unstuck and Become Unstoppable, 45 strategies that you can use right now. And in that book, out of that book, came women asking, now that you've written the book, can you get me together? Can you do a class with me? So I started doing different mastermind classes. And then ultimately I decided to bring all the women together so that we can bring our collective genius into the room. So I may be leading the connection, but all of us are speaking into each other's lives. So we have a connection on Facebook, which is called the Unstoppable Connection Closed Group. And then I've also created what we call the Queen's Mastermind. I'll talk about that more if you want me to. And inside of that, I've been able to create conferences where we've highlighted women and really allowed women to have the platform there. And so it's really growing and scaling, and I'm really excited about what we're doing next. So it's a movement that I think is transformative. It is, yes, motivational, because I want people to get up and say, yes, I can do something. But I don't want them to just feel good. I want them to be empowered, right? That means I now have the power to move. And then, yes, I want them to be inspired, which means I now life has been breathed inside of me to inspire, to breathe life. So it's motivated, empowered, and inspired. As you can see, that's a play off of my name, Michelle, M-E-I. But not only that, God has just moved me to a place now where it's being a transformational leader. And that is where I help other people to transform their lives. I don't want you to be in the same place that you were, but I need you to come back and grab someone else.
Oh, I'm loving that. I want to find, is Max on the room? Is Max on the room? Because Max don't know. I got surprises up my sleeve. I can't tell. Max, I'm calling you. Come on back in the backstage. I got something special for you. Michelle, thank you so much. I'm telling you, drum roll, y'all, this is getting hot, right? Hot like fire hot. Here we go. We got somebody else coming up. Come on in the room. We got Sheila for the first time coming on my platform. Sheila Wallace, come on in the room. Come on, Sheila.
Hey, how are you doing tonight? So glad to be here.
Absolutely wonderful. Sheila D. Wallace, I'm going to shut up because I know a lot about you, but you need to tell my audience who you are, because after you, I gotta bring my Maxie back on. But come on, let them know who you are and what you're doing and what you all about, Tennessee.
Tennessee, I love it. I'm Sheila Wallace, as it says. I'm Sheila Wallace, founder of Wallace Enterprises, and I have a division that I empower women called the She Experience, and that's your experience in your life. I say the She Experience again, like Michelle. It's a play off my name, the She Experience, but it's an experience in your life. What defines you? What makes you? And I try to get people to get women, especially. I succeed at it, getting them to see themselves, making choices, see how their choices impact their lives, and they can always move forward. I want you to be happy. I want you to be loving, kind, sweet. You don't have to have bad days. They're out there. I do a lot. I have an opportunity. I'm a talent manager. I do real estate. I do sales. I do so much. I'm always involved in somebody's life, but I walk away and people constantly say, you're always smiling. I'm going to smile about it, regardless of what happens, because there's bad days out there, but they don't belong to me. And that's how I live my life. They don't belong to me. They exist, but they don't belong to me. I don't end my day on a bad note. I don't care how much has come up against me. I refuse to let it run me, rule me, control me. My rule is if something traumatic happens, I give myself 72 hours, and that's a long time. I usually don't last the 72 hours. It usually lasts an hour or two because I won't let it resonate. So I teach women how to do that, and just some practical things. It's nothing deep. It's just practical things like owning your truth. And that's what I hang on to, owning your truth. What role did I have in it? If I had no role in it, then guess what? My role is just to apologize, or sometimes take it when you're not wrong. You know what? Sometimes you're absolutely right, but sometimes you can prove yourself. You're trying so hard to prove yourself that you're right, that you become wrong. So I just live my life just enjoying it, smiling, being happy.
So Sheila, I have a mixed audience of people, and people ask me all the time, Sheila. I formally worked with the Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative. It was an incubator program for the city of Atlanta, for Mayor Kasim Reed and Mayor Bottoms. And people would say, I don't kind of get y'all entrepreneurs. How can you do all these multiple things at one time? Like they get stuck on not understanding and not be perfected in it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let Sheila answer that question, because Sheila, you do a lot of different things and you do them well. Share with the audience just some simple tips from your perspective. Doing all these multiple solopreneur businesses. How does that happen?
I can say this, I compartmentalize my day. I have ministry Monday, real estate Tuesday. So when I say I compartmentalize, I know what I want to do. I have an administrative background just like you and Donita. So it becomes easy for me. I have planners, I write my day out, and how bad do you want it? I want to succeed in all of it. Of course, you can't do 50,000 things, but the things that I'm good at. So I make sure that I keep a schedule. If I'm going to get off my schedule, I don't let people get me off my schedule. I get off my schedule. You can't interrupt my day. I don't have my day interrupted by things. And not that it hasn't happened, but I've learned how to reposition that. If something's going to happen, I had something come up today. I was like, I can't do that. And so I had to call them back and say, I just can't do it. And it was okay. I rescheduled it, but you just have to, again, it goes back to owning your truth. What can you say yes to? What can you say no to? Because we all want to say yes to everything, but there's power in the no. Just like there's power in the yes, there's power in the no. And the power is the self-empowerment. And it's not being no and being mean. It's no, I can't do that. And I did it. It happened yesterday. Somebody called and said, can you do something? They gave me a 2-hour window notice. I couldn't do it. I wanted to. Initially, I said, yes, I can. I had to call them back and say, you know what? I can't. Looking at my schedule, I can't. It would throw off my whole day. And because I wanted to please the people, which we all struggle with in some area, I just decided not to do that. And it wasn't about, it was good because they were like, oh, we'll figure it out. So owning your truth, being honest with yourself about where you are and keeping a calendar. That's key. Your administrators know
very important. No, Sheila, that's very important, because I know in my line of business, right, what we do, you have to compartmentalize, but you have to be focused, laser beam on everything you do. Denise Michelle Tuck Winston saying, hey, great platform, uplift and empower sisters. Yeah, Denise, that's what we're about. That's what we're going to do. Because, I'm about to spell these myths, right, Sheila? Because everybody keeps saying, Black women, women of color, they just can't get along. That crab in the barrel mentality, all the superiority that we all know about. I'm like, we're not having that, not on this watch. So Sheila, let me ask you a couple of things, because you're a newbie, right? Just like Donita, to my tribe. A lot of people know Michelle, and we're going to talk about Unstoppable in a minute. But Sheila, they don't know you like I know you, and I've learned to know you through Michelle. You do a lot of things well. As it comes to working with like celebrities or just, ordinary people, I say we're all ordinary people doing extraordinary things, right? Some of us got a little more shine. Some of us got that bank account I'm trying to get. right? That's 7, 8. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. How do you parlay through working with all different types of people? Because you haven't shared with the audience about your other jobs you do. So share
Okay, let me back up here because I know what you're alluding to. I do talent management. I specifically work for the Tankers, Ben and Jewel Tankard. A lot of people know them from the show, know them from different things, but I've been doing that since 2003. I've been with them and just grew with them. But I do believe this. I believe that every experience we have in life is preparing us for the next experience, no matter what. I started out working with my mom at 9 years old alongside with her in the church. You know, never thought I would do that. In administration, believe it or not. I started working with her in administration. And then as I became a teenager, grew up, always was called to the office to help work in the office. And again, these are all things build. You know, it's precept upon precept. When I was in the military, I only worked with generals. So my job required me to do that. I was doing one job, but I only worked with generals, not knowing that it was preparing for me for where I am today. So when I worked with celebrities, it became easy. I was comfortable in that space. I was comfortable being around people with power, people with money, people who act like they had power. It didn't bother me. I don't feel like I'm beneath them or lower. I treat them like human beings. And so I think that's the key, is that you just treat people like human beings. And it doesn't mean that you belittle yourself, but I understand my role. I think someone said it earlier. You know, you understand where you fit in that scheme of things, but it doesn't take anything from you. I know I'm the force behind it. I'm the reckoning force. I can get you to where you need to get to. I've carried shoes, I've carried briefcases, I've carried luggages. And sometimes, but I've also been able to sit down in some of the best rooms and have some of the best meals with some of the best people. But I always stay humble about it. It's not a place of braggadocious. It's the humility that gets me in these places. And they all love it. I mean, I've had people that come to town and be like, I only want to work with you when I come to town. Or if I'm in a different city, they're like, let me know when you're here, because those 2 or 3 days with me has made an impact. And like I said, I've been around some major people and major players in it. And it's the humility. And that, I think I want to go back to what you said about African-American women, Black women, whatever we want to call them. I woke up one day, probably 3 years ago, and said, I will not be in strife with anybody. I will not. I have made up my mind, especially because we all come from different backgrounds and different experiences. But I know that we can lift each other up. This was before all the racism, because it's always been here, but it was before all these other things happened. I was determined that love wins. You see my jacket, it says love, says queen, it says all of that. But I was determined that I can love the heaven into you. You know what I mean? I can love the heaven into you.
Okay, Sheila, you got to back it up. Sheila, you got to back it up. My audience know me. Here go Bella. I'm peeling that onion layer. You said something that's very powerful. So let's go back. Say it again.
I can love the heaven into you.
One more time.
Love the heaven into you. You know what they used to say back in the day, right? But I switch that word around and I always say heaven. I can love the heaven into you. I would tell my children, I have more heaven in me than hell that exists in you. So no matter what, I have more in me that I have so much love to give. I make it my business. And I'm not saying again that I don't have challenges, but I believe that at the end of the day, that the love that I have in you and the love that I proclaim to have, it can dispel all those other things around us. It can dispel all those myths and all those. I just will not be a part of it. I will not be a part of it. I will not be tearing down my sister. I will not. I will find something good in them. I don't care if their braid looks good today. I will find something good. They can be the most hellacious person on earth, but I'm going to find something good. And I make it my business to do that. It's not that I make it my business. I'll just say that. I'll make it my business to do that.
I appreciate that. Sheila, hang back for a second. I'm going somewhere. Y'all have no idea where I'm going with this. I want to bring Max back on because you know what? There's a theme. I know it because I know all of you individually. But Max, come on up because I want the audience to take a few minutes. I know you got another engagement, Max, because she's always on the go, y'all. She's always on the go. But Max going to give me 5 more minutes. Max, tell us about your journey, how we know each other and what you're doing because, Max, you are powerful.
Many years ago, working with Alfreda with Women of Distinction. And Sheila, I really appreciate you saying that about sisters, because we gotta love each other. We don't have each other's back. Who will? We got to have each other. And I appreciate that message from you. I really do, especially in this industry here. It is just so hard. It's like a competition. I can't help you get there because I'm too busy trying to climb this ladder. But so you got to stay here because I'm trying to get there. And I'm sorry, my sister, but I know how to do this, but I can't help you. And that's what we need more of: love, loving each other. It's enough space for all of us. It's enough. We don't have to tear someone down just because we're trying to get somewhere. And I'm like you, I gotta find some good. I gotta find some good. And Linda can tell you, just going back from days before now, that I've always tried to do whatever I can to work in the community, to serve, not taking compensation, just whatever I can do. God gave me gifts and I don't have a problem using them. You don't have to be compensated for everything you do. That's my motto. Linda called me this morning to do this. Okay. And I said, sure. She said, if you got time, I said, sure, Linda, I do it. It's no big deal. I would do it for you because you asked me to. And in order for you, I know you needed me because you asked me. So we got to learn how to help each other. And Linda and I have been working and helping each other for many, many years. I'm not active with WOD anymore, but she's still my sister. She's still my sister. Any other WOD members that are still active are still my sisters. I would hope so. Put it that way.
So, Max, tell us a little bit before you go. I know you have an engagement to go to. Tell us a little bit about your book, but particularly about your production, because they don't know you like I know you. This woman's powerful. She does production at her church. I mean, I'm just like in awe because I don't have that skill set, but I'm cool with it. Tell us a little bit about that, Max.
You know what? It took me many years. I never knew I had the gift of writing. Never knew it. I wrote my first play in 2014. Never knew I had the gift of writing. And when I started writing a play one morning, God gave me a message. I kept seeing a vision of a girl. And I'm going, what is this about? And I couldn't shake the vision. And so finally, I always sit in my office. That's just my comfort zone. And I started typing. And before I knew it, I had typed out 7 scenes to a play. And I had never written a play. And I said, what is this? And he said, that's your gift. I never knew I had it. And that was my first play in 2014. And from then, I've written several more plays. And I've written a poetry book. By nature, I'm a poet. And a children's book. And this is my first novel involving other people. But God gave me that as well. I didn't wake up one morning and say, oh, I'm getting ready to write a book. Not at all. I saw a testimony that was just so heartfelt, and it just touched my spirit soul. And I'm going like, oh my goodness, people need to, he's sharing this with us, but more people need to know about, our stories and things God has done for us. And I just couldn't shake it. And so finally 2 or 3 days passed. I'm going like, why is this still in my spirit? Okay, God, what you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Write it. Get other people together. Tell their stories. Share their stories. Share your stories. You have plenty. Share stories about the miracles, what I have done for you, and what I have done for others. Share that. Let people know I'm still performing miracles today like I did yesterday. I'm still here. And more people need to know that. And I want you to share it. So that's what the book Testimonies is about. It's about different people that I have known. Some I know well, some I do not. Sharing their stories, how God changed their lives. I got one story in there of a friend of mine. I've worked with him for many years. He used to be a thug, gangbanger, shooting, robbing, all of that. God changed his life. Now he's a motivational speaker and he goes out to help other young men not to be like that. So we got to tell our stories. And I know we share them with people that we're close to, but we got to share them more. And that's what this book is about. Just sharing life-changing moments. You never know. It can make a difference in someone else's life. You just never know.
Oh, Max, you trust me. You know it and I know it. I mean, here we go. Our Frida Spells. What's up, Frida? Frida says, I used to always tell Max I was her biggest fan to attend many of her events and share events. And you know, we have come a long way, Max, with Hank Stewart.
Yes.
I mean, all those unspoken
Yes.
words. I just thank you for taking the opportunity, like you and I go, helping
Well,
each other
yeah.
out. There's another
Well,
one.
here now, I might as well just stay on. You got me now to 8.
Well, come on, stay on the run. So Eve kind of put us all in the same frame. I want to go back to Sheila because we're going to bring something that we always need to bring up in here. It's called FAITH, faith. If I know one thing, my Tennessee crew up in here, I'm going to go with Sheila first and then Michelle second and then Darmita. We know who, through all things, everything is possible. Sheila, I have been on some of your, slipped in my DMs, some of your Bible studies. Tell us a little about that with Destiny Center. Because you're strong.
Oh, sorry about that. So I'm one of the prayer leaders, and so we lead every week. And it's just, we believe in faith. I mean, you have to have faith to do everything. One thing I wanted to say earlier, and when Max was talking, I thought about is there's room on the shelf for all of us. You know, when you go in the store, and I heard somebody say that years ago, and when she was talking, I was like, okay, I see that book in me. There's room on the shelf for all of us. If we're all administrative, or we all can have the same gift, but we still bring something different. We still bring a different talent of that gift to the table. And a lot of times that competition comes from, I got to do exactly what you do. I don't have to do exactly what you do. I don't have to have everything you have. I just have to have part of the gift. So there's room on the shelf. There's more than one soap. There's more than one deodorant. There's more than one toothpaste. And you don't see Colgate arguing with Crest, talking about something, get off the shelf. I'm better than you. No, they just talk about what they do well. They don't have to put down the other one to talk about what they do well. The same thing goes with faith. My faith is what keeps me going every day. My faith in God, and I'm a believer. I'm going to be open about it. My faith in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, is what keeps me going every day. And I remember the testimonies, and I don't have to pull on testimonies from 20 years ago because he does something every day. And so I try to make sure his mercies are new every morning. So it's not like he says, oh, you got these in the reserve. No, they start new every morning. So it's new every morning. So I get a fresh start every morning. I don't have to live in regret, live in what I didn't finish, because it's new every day. He daily loads me with benefits. So it's not like, oh, you leave the job and the benefit plan stays back. No, he's like, nope, I'm loading you again with benefits. Nope, I'm loading you again with benefits. That's daily. So that's how I live my life. It's daily. So I don't have to walk in. I mean, I can go on and on and on. My favorite scripture is Ephesians 3:20. That he is able to do exceeding above all we can ask or think. Not exceedingly, like a lot of times we've been saying it so wrong, but he can exceed abundance. So there is no measure. There is no end to what he can do, because, it's beyond measure. Beyond measure means no matter what my measuring stick is beyond that. No matter what I think, all I have to do is think it. I don't even have to speak it out my mouth. All I have to do is think it, and he can do beyond that, exceed it abundantly. So I'm thinking too small no matter what. So if I thought it today, he can exceed it. If I think it tomorrow, if I think about it. So imagine what I speak, and I believe that I know science has shown that our body hears us. So when I am sick, for instance, I don't last long because I always say what I want. I don't talk about what's wrong. I always say what I want, because subconsciously we buy into whatever we hear. So when you say I'm sick, your body hears sick. But if I say I enjoy being well, my body hears it enjoys being well. So although I might have symptoms, but I enjoy being well. I enjoy living in abundance. I enjoy living life. I enjoy being happy. I enjoy great dentistry. I enjoy whatever I enjoy is going to come to me. So I just believe that. I was in the military. My military background taught me that we have a lot of intel, and the way they find out things. Sometimes you'll be like, how did they know that happened? That conversation happened 20 years ago. There's technology out there that it hears your words never die. My son is a scientist, and he was talking about how sound, it travels. It may get weaker, but because it never dies. So anything I speak out into the atmosphere never dies. So my faith is that I'm going to always speak what I want, because it's going somewhere. And everybody in the room heard what I said. So not only are they repeating what I said, there's that energy building, growing more and more and more. That energy is building. So yeah, that's where my faith lies, in what I say, what I speak, how I live my life. There's room on the shelf for me. That I just live my life like that. I don't know. I'm a pretty simple chick, I guess.
That's very important, Sheila. Thank you. How important is a faith walk in your life, Michelle?
Well, I had to start with Psalm 68:19, because Sheila hit on that. That is my favorite verse of the Bible. Daily, he loads us with benefits. Faith is a benefit. It is a benefit of our belief, and it really jumpstarts us. If we're going to have faith in Christ, then we can have faith that he will do exactly what he said he will do. And it reminds me, if we swing back just a little bit and I'll bring it back forward, when Sheila was talking about sisterhood and Max was talking about telling stories and telling your story, I really want to speak to that woman who was and may still be much like I was when I was younger. I grew up in a household of all boys. And so that tomboy thing was so important and so powerful in my life. And in doing so, though, I had a lot of girls who would come to befriend me because of my brothers. So they weren't coming for me. They were coming so that they could have access to my brothers because they were all fine. So I had to spend a lot of time repositioning people, fighting people. Honestly, I will say that. And really, I became very closed. And in addition to that, because I grew up with boys, I tended to really gravitate toward what guys were doing. Most of my friends, my best friend growing up, one of them was a guy. And so I had trust issues with girls, and I took that into my adulthood. But what God showed me is that if I could have faith that he would protect me through all things, then I could have faith that he would protect me if I open myself up to women. That is why I work with women. I wasn't working with women before, but he called me to that. And that was a faith walk. So to someone who is still really closed right now, because you don't trust women, you don't trust men, you don't trust children, you don't trust your boss, whatever it may be, that's a faith walk. And we've got to get to the place where we jump off the shores of hope into the boats of faith. Because you can say, I hope that this will happen. I hope that this will change. But if we don't take the necessary steps to, one, go through the process of admitting, Father, I need you. I need more faith. What did JR say? He said, when it came to his, my daughter is about to die, he said, Jesus said, do you believe? He said, I believe, but help my unbelief. So that's faith. And then he had a measure of hope. I know you can do it. And so we've got to jump out of there and get off of that place of I'm hopeful things will happen and jump into the boat and sail way out there in the deep, because faith is now, it's action, it's right now, it's in the future, but it's right now that we have to believe that it will happen. So for me, I carry that everywhere that I go, because it's an opportunity for me to allow God to show out if I just say I have faith in what I believe he said I could do.
Absolutely. So I want to give you your flowers right now. So Alfreda Stoops, way to go, Frida. Frida's giving you a compliment, Michelle. I will always remember when she met you, Michelle. You was at one of the faith walks at the WOD Empowerment Lunch. And she says she knew right off when she first met you. And I do recall that you were guided by a higher being. Proud of you. And that's what we're talking about. Because when you walk it, Sheila, when you walking and you talking, you ain't gotta say nothing because it exudes in you. So come on in the conversation, Donita. What is it to you in terms of your faith walk in your life?
If it wasn't for my faith, I wouldn't even be here. I used to live in fear. I used to have dreams of this horrible things happening to me. I was not doing what I knew I was supposed to do. I walked away from everything my mom and my grandma told me. And I was like, I'm gonna do it my way. And I was living I was out there. I'm gonna just be honest. I was out there. But the Lord smacked me in the head one day, and I was like, God, why did you show me this sign? Like, I thought everybody was going to go hell in a handbasket. So we just go in there. He just showed me a vision of a bunch of people walking with their hands tied in chains, going one after another down into this fiery pit. And then he was like, this doesn't have to be you. And that got my attention. I was like, why would you show me this? I'm not doing anything to be one of those people who gets a vision from God. So that right there was the first step. I was like, you know what? If I am this powerful doing it my way, how much more powerful can I be if I do it God's way? And so I just decided I was going to take one step. I didn't have the desire to serve God or do anything. So I started praying, God, give me that desire to serve you. Because I didn't have it. I knew what I was supposed to. I was like, just give me that desire. And then eventually I just got that desire. And I started praying, remove people out of my life who aren't meant to be here. And then I was scared. I'm going to be honest. When you say a prayer like that, I knew that it was going to happen, and it happened. And then he told me I needed to leave. I needed to go 2,500 miles away from everything I knew. And I was like, what? That makes no sense. I was like, God, you need to show me a sign. And he, through my daughter, we went to this, we came down to Tennessee, and I was like, oh, God, I'm here. I'm just visiting. I'm going to go back home. I was like, show me a sign that's where I'm supposed to be. And my daughter was like, Mommy, I like it here. Let's stay. I said, what? What about it? I'm like, no, let's stay. I said, okay, we're staying. And ever since I've been down here, it has been nothing but my faith that has got me through. I've been afraid, but I've walked through it, because the scripture, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind. That right there has gotten me through every single step. Because I've been told you can't have fear and faith at the same token.
That's right.
You have fear, but once that faith kicks in, that fear has to leave. You just have to keep on going. And it's my walk and me knowing that God has me. I've been able to meet incredible people. I've been uplifted and pushed forward way further than I would ever be on my own. And I have a peace that I did not even know would exist. And I've had a lot of bad things happen, but I know God's got me. So my faith is I'm not going back. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is the path I'm supposed to be on. And God is using me as a vessel to help those around me. And this beats anything, everything I could have possibly done by myself. Because I know
you are like the sweetest queen. I'm telling you. I mean, God is speaking to me that's ever happened. I'm bringing Max back in because you know what? I applaud you because it is not easy. I know I have a mouth. I've had a mouth. I came out talking in the womb. But that's what they said anyway. But regardless, I'm bringing Max in because it's not easy for certain people. Max and I do a lot of public speaking. It's like air I breathe.
No. This is hard. This is hard for me. I'm a performer. Most people think it's easy. This is hard for me. Now I can perform all day, every day, but speaking, that's a challenge for me. And I had to overcome that because I live in fear as well. Because I'm like, they're going to judge me. Then I might say this wrong. I might do this way and I shouldn't do it. But I had to overcome that. Whatever you do, just be you. Mm-hmm. I just have to be myself, and God gave me this creative gift and I just use that. That's what I have. He gave us all some. He gave you, Linda, the gift of speaking, the gift of, you're good with people. I'm not. I can stay in the house all day, every day by myself, 24/7 and be happy and fine. That's me. Long as I can write and create, I'm artistic. I like creating. That's me. That's my comfort zone. So I had to learn not to be afraid. And that's why I stayed in the background for so long, because I was so afraid to step off the cliff. But once I did, I got you. I got you.
Well, I want to share something. I'm going to interrupt you for a second, Max. I didn't mean to overtalk you, but bring that back up, Eve. Eve is my girl. I just saw a comment from Effie. I'm going to shout her out. Effie Hendricks Murphy is really my best friend. We were born on the same birthday. Don't ask me how old I am, okay? But we were on the same day, the same year, and she and I have been friends since we met in high school, Walbrook High School. Shout out to Effie. And she says, I love hearing these women speak about their faith. So powerful. So I'm letting you all know, thank you for that comment, Effie. And thank you for being in the house. Because you know what? Tennessee got me beat tonight, y'all. I'm telling you, we're in the house now.
And I'm from Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee as well.
I know, Max. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I knew that this was purpose, Max. Yes. The Lord told me what to do. And guess what? I do what he say, right? So
Yes.
please, and now we got about 10 more minutes left, give or take. And I'm loving this. I want you all to kind of dive on in. This is Women History Month. We are celebrating and highlighting all these phenomenal women. I'm telling you, the replay is going to really get it. Because the replay, folks, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all ain't got time to come on here live at 7 to 8, but y'all go on the replay. Thank you very much. Let's get into it as we finalize the last 10 or 15 minutes. Ladies, we don't talk about faith enough. And Sheila sticks out in my mind like doo-doo, because she speaks powerful. And I've just started listening to her, Michelle. Believe it or not, the last 2 months, I've been DMing on these Bible studies in the morning. I'm like, okay. And I just happened to DM the other day. I'm like, this chick is powerful because I had not heard you before, Sheila, from that realm. So speak a little bit about that because you're very powerful. And we know faith without works is DEAD, dead. So talk a little bit about that from your perspective, Sheila.
I don't know which one you listened to. You know, when the pandemic hit last year, our ministry decided that we were going to see, we do prayer every day. It's a ministry that's built on prayer. So we decided we're going to do prayer every day, and they have different prayer leaders. Well, some of us are blessed to do it every other week. And some of us, like Michelle does it every other week. And so they get a week off. But me, I was supposed to be the fill-in. So if somebody couldn't make it, I was supposed to just fill in. You know, and I was going to just help the prayer director. So she's like, okay, well, we lost our Wednesday person. Can you step in? Well, first it started, I was stepping in on Tuesday nights or Tuesday when people couldn't show up. Then I stepped in on Fridays because people couldn't show up. And then they said, okay, now we need you on Wednesdays as a permanent stand-in. I said, okay. And they were like, but you're still going to be the backup. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, and so for so long, like you, they told me I came out the womb speaking. But I've always had this desire to know Jesus. Even as a young girl, I remember like I was 7 or 8 now, my parents kept the Bible in the corner in the end table. You know how they used to do. You know, nobody touched the Bible. It was a special Bible. You know, you had the Bible in the car, but you had the special Bible. Me, with my audacious self at 7, goes and picks it up and starts reading out of the special Bible. And I remember my dad sitting over there telling my mom, it's okay. You know, there's got to be something on her that it's okay. Because and what happened is my sister went to a Catholic school, and she had a book. You know, she had the Catholic Bible, and I started reading it, and I wanted to make sure that it lined up with what we had in our house. And that's how I got into it. I just always studied the Word of God. It's always been a desire. You know, you've heard all these books and all these people that are called to things. I know I'm called to ministry. I know I'm called to God's people. I know scriptures, and I always laugh. I have some people under there laugh because I can come up with a word that's in the Bible that other people aren't familiar with. But that's because I know I'm called to it, and I know the big thing I'm on now is the floodgates being open, understanding what the floodgates are. And I think I was talking to you about the floodgates. The floodgates are indiscriminate. Once it's open, the water doesn't care what position you're in. You know, we're always trying to get ourselves in the right position and do this. Let me make sure my foot is right here, my arm is up here. But once the floodgate is open, all I have to do is receive the blessing of the flood. You know, we think of a flood and we think of destruction, but when God had the water went 22 feet above the highest elevation. So it was 22 feet above the highest elevation. And but he promised never to do that again. But there was a blessing in the flood. So when the floodgates are open, you know, you hear that song, open the floodgates of heaven and let it rain. Yeah. I always say, let it rain, R-A-I-N, but let it rain, R-E-I-G-N. When it rains, I'm going to rain. When the flood comes, I want to be okay. You know what I mean? I just have to be in it. It's indiscriminate, and I just can be a part of the blessing. And as I'm blessed, I can bless others. Goes back to that room on the shelf. I have something to give to people. I also can receive, but I always have something to give. If I look at myself, we reap what we sow, right? So if I continually give, if I continually give of myself, give of my time, give of my love, I have no choice because the word does not lie. God does not lie. Jesus is not lying. He's not sitting up there dangling a carrot like we do. I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm only going to tell you so much. I like what Max said, you know, I'm not going to share that information with you. No, I'm going to share it with you. If you take it and run with it, that's on you. If I'm supposed to be there, God is going to open the door for me to be there. If I get you to the White House and then I don't walk in, trust me, they're going to invite me back. I'm not afraid to share my information. I'm not afraid to share what I have in me. So that goes back to that faith and that flood. I just believe that whatever he has for me is for me, no matter if I share it or not. Of course, you know, I use wisdom. You get what I'm saying? I use wisdom, but in the same breath, I'm not stingy with the information of where I got to. So I just stand in front of the floodgate and let it open, you know, and I've been studying floodgates and how do they work and how do they operate and what is the purpose of them. It's meant to hold something in, but it's also to let it out. It depends on when they're using the floodgate. But and when it comes out with so much force and it's indiscriminate. It doesn't matter what it touches. It's going to go and take whatever's in its path. It's going to go with the flood. So whatever I'm in the flood. I'm in the middle of the floodgate. I'm in the blessed flood right now, and that's what I call it. The floodgate is open on me, and I'm going to be a blessed woman. I wake up every day and say, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed with children. I'm blessed with grandchildren. I'm blessed with a husband. My mom is still in the land of the living. I have great friends. I love people. I'm blessed. I can find a blade praise. You know how you planting some grass and that first blade come up? That's a praise. You know, first I have a little bit, then I got a patch of grass, then I got a whole field of grass. But I just need one piece. I just need a little blade. Once the blade comes, I know the rest is coming. I just got to make sure I water the right thing and feed it with the right food so that. So you got me started. I wasn't trying to.
Well, that's what I wanted to. I wanted to get you started. So check this out, fam. I'm telling y'all, is this not explosive? Every single woman in each frame represents you, fam. Okay, because I'm going to shine on Domita. There's a lot of us out here, and y'all know Bella. Bella is about breaking some chains, lifting some souls, clearing the smoke, addressing the elephant in the room. Okay, Domita, she's sweet. She's a queen. She's a young mother with a beautiful daughter. And Domita, you represent a lot of people that said, you know what? Something ain't working right. I don't know if it's God telling me to move, but I'm going to step out on faith. I applaud you for that because I know you were nervous coming on for your first time. I applaud you. There's a lot of Donitas out there. It takes courage, Donita, to tell your story. But I promise you, every time you tell your story, it gets better and better, and you get stronger and stronger. So as we kind of wrap up a little bit, I want everybody to go around the room. Anything that you want to share on your heart, faith-based with women. Speak to someone just like you, Damita, because you best believe it's a lot of Damitas out there. Speak to them, Damita.
For me, I had to learn how to just shut up and listen to God. We're so quick that we want to, we got something on us. Oh, I got to go tell this person. I got to go tell somebody, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. No, this is what God told me to do. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to do it. And the people that he has told me to speak to, I speak to. And that on its own has blessed me. So to those women out there, God tells you, don't speak. You hear that voice, don't speak. He said, don't go there. Don't go there. If he says, move, move. Even if you just don't know, even if you're just wondering, could this be God? Try it out. 9 times out of 10, that real small voice is God. And it gets louder the more you listen. But if you don't ever take that first little itsy bitsy tiny step, you'll never know. And you'll be wondering, what am I doing here? Versus, thank you, God, for taking me from where I was.
That's powerful. Thank you, Queen Michelle. Parting words to somebody like you, Michelle, because we know you're on fire. You exude. You're a public speaker. It comes natural to you. We all have challenges. Let me stop and say that. Y'all, we ain't faking the funk up in here. We all have good days and we all have bad days, but we're going to focus on the good days tonight because that's what Bella Unplugged is all about. Michelle, speak to that woman just like you.
I speak to the person who, for me, faith, what God has really called me to is souls. So people, loving people, helping people. I speak to the person who really feels like you're called to souls too, but you don't know exactly what that really means or what that really looks like. I speak to you to say that in your prayer time, seek God for your field of favor. Where is it that he would desire you to serve as it relates to souls? Is it soul winning for salvation? Is it soul winning for outreach? Is it soul winning for empowerment? Whatever that thing is, seek God for your field of favor and then watch him blossom in your life because you are obedient. Isaiah 1:19 says, if you will be obedient, you can eat the good of the land. It says, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. And I declare for our faithfulness, we eat the good of the land and we cannot be denied.
Powerful. I'm telling y'all, we may go over tonight. I don't know. Y'all hang on to your seats because Bella about to do a cartwheel for real. Come on, Max. Speak to those people who are public speakers who do shows. I know you, Max, like the back of my hand, but speak to that woman just like you, Max, that don't like speaking, right? They don't really like, it's like, I don't want to do that thing.
Well, I tell you, I want to encourage people who think it's too late for them because they're older. It's never too late to use the gifts that God has given you. Just know that, because people have asked me, why did you wait so late to start doing what you do? I said, this is my timing. He prepared me, everything I went through to get here. So it's never too late. Never give up. If God gave you a gift, use it. I don't care if you're 90. If you can do it, do it. If you're 15, do it. Use your gifts. There's so many people, so many talented people walking around afraid to use the gifts that God has given them. All things are what? Possible.
Possible.
All things are possible. If he did it for me, I know he can do it for you.
Max, thank you. I'm going to loop back to Sheila, and I'm going to close out with you, Max. See, I move on the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is talking to me right now. I want Sheila to say something. Max, you go find something, because I'm telling y'all, I've heard Max over 1,000 times, and she's always powerful. So, Max, take you a couple minutes. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
I got to put was getting ready to go out. Hold on.
I got to go with the Holy Spirit because he's talking to me. Sheila, talk to them people out there, because you're strong in your faith, girl. And I see a lot of my fans out there making comments. Come on, Sheila, bring it on in.
And I think what I would say to the people is own your truth. That's what I live by, owning your truth. And it's hard to sometimes to own your truth. Owning your truth means, okay, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, girl, get it together. Whatever that is, whether it's I need to lose weight, I need to be nicer, I need to be more firm. And a lot of times I want you to turn it on yourself, not so much on everybody else. Own your truth. I promise you, when you start owning your truth, you become more peaceful. You become more happier. And I think Max said that. Once I became who I was, I decided I wasn't going to fake for anybody else. Love me, hate me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to still love you because that's who I am. I'm not going to fake it for anybody or anything. I'm just going to own my truth in every area of my life. I've owned my truth with my children in some areas. I've owned my truth with my husband. And it has made us all so much closer by saying, okay, God, this is a weakness in me, but you know what? You're strong in that area. So I need your help in this area. So I give them permission to help me in that area where I own my truth. But in the same breath, I own my truth and what I'm good at too. I'm unapologetic about who I am and what I'm good at. I used to apologize and try to cower back or do that, but now I'm unapologetic. I can walk in the room. I don't have to, and if somebody in there has the same gift, I don't have to be like, but I got it too. And me, I own my truth. I'm not the one at the table right now. I'm not the one fixing the meal. So guess what? Just sit here and own your truth where you are. Love them and support them, because you'll be amazed at how many doors get open for you by owning your own truth. So that's what I leave everybody with. Own your truth and who you are. Accept responsibility. I've had to, eat crow in some areas. I've had to go apologize to people that I was like, I would never apologize, but I go apologizing for my role in whatever that happened. And when I've done that, I've seen some relationships restored. I've seen these people, even though they might not have changed their behavior changed with me. You know what I mean? Our conflicts changed because I owned my portion of it. Whether it's me, because sometimes we know, you may be more mature than somebody else, but you're going to put it down their throat. I need you to be better in this area. No, own your truth. Own your truth. Just own it. That's all I'm going to say. I know we're going over, so I didn't want to keep taking time. Own your truth.
Sheila, thank you. Listen, Sam, listen to me. The last voice you're going to hear is going to be Max, but let me say this, because I am unapologetic too. The Holy Spirit is moving me, and I'm going to say this. I say it all the time. Please zoom in on me. It is so easy to be yourself. It is so easy to be yourself. There's no script involved. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to write it down. It's easy to be who you are because God created all of us to be exactly who we are. And we're not carbon copies, right? So remember that. It comes harder when you try to be somebody that you're not, right? Please remember those words. I'm going to have these ladies back on because there's a special project going on. It's called The Unstoppable Me, but I had to stop shift because when the Holy Spirit moves me to do something else, he rules and he reigns. So without further ado, thank you all for staying. Max, take us home.
I'm going to say this one, never again. In the morning, when I open my eyes from a restful night, see the sun as it shines. When I look into the sky and see the moonlight when it's full bright, think about what lovers do when the mood is right, and allow my heart to get lost in the midnight. What? Or should I say, when I woke up this morning and looked in the mirror and saw another line upon my face, which is quite fine. But what did I do in between that time of that line? Did I extend a helping hand to aid a friend? Or was I somewhere committing a sin? Did I let my light so shine, or was I drunk with wine? Did I provide a source for the blind, or didn't have the time? Did I assist a mother with 5 in the welfare line, or did I ignore her cries? Did I provide shelter for the homeless, or did I just walk on by? Did I care for the sick, or was I just selfish? Be careful what you do. Be careful what you say. It just might come back on you. All I can say is never again shall I ignore the tears, the hurt, the suffering endured by my sisters. How could I not see her pain? Was I inhumane? Never again shall I look and not see, hear and not listen, talk and not speak, bend and not stand, crawl and not walk, because God made me a woman, not a man. He gave me the substance within my breast to nurse a nation. Never again shall I complain about much of anything, you see, because God kept me from being homeless and sleeping on the street, having an addiction I can't beat, selling my body to eat from many unknown defeats. Never again shall I eat without praying for those that are less fortunate than me. There are women and children throughout this land that are hungry right now as I speak. Be careful what you do. Be careful what you say. It just might come back on you. Never again shall I think time has settled my debt, forget favors that were God sent, not appreciate my many strengths, witness suffering and not offer comfort, dismiss love sit from above, be unkind to those that are not in their right mind, and let fear of failure keep me confined, allow a person or situation make me fuss, cuss, and not trust, fake when I'm not satisfied, exploit my body for unrighteous order. And never again shall I be engraved for this day forward. When I'm over 50, you have a brand new perspective. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do, because it might come back on you. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do, because you don't know who's watching you.